Good evening. It's Cindy Fodor here with Stamp the Love, and it is Make It Monday. And tonight I have our August class projects as our whole program. So I have everything ready. I'm going to try to zoom through it so that it's not long because there are 4 projects and they each have really fun techniques with them. So I hope that you will enjoy. And let's get started with our first one. And that is with our new Magnolia Mood bundle. I should turn this over. There's sort of a mess in there. I've been having a lot of fun with this stamp set. I don't think that you can see it properly, but there is a ton of shading done with like a stippling effect on here. And so as you'll see in some of my samples, you don't even need to color the stamp. It is so, so beautiful. I'm just so overwhelmed by how gorgeous this is. And the dies are incredible as well. And you'll see that in my samples. So after I show you the project, I do have some samples that I will try to remember to show you. Okay. So this is the card that we're going to do. It is based off of a card I got in a Swap It On stage. I can't remember who made the original, but she used like a pool party background, which was gorgeous. But I decided to go with this, the green soft seafoam background. Okay, so to stamp, I do have my Stamparatus set up. And I'm going to pop in 2 of the die cuts that I already cut from the bundle. And we're going to use basic gray and ink those up. Well, let me scoot into screen here so you can see what I'm doing. All right, make sure that's up there where it belongs. We did have one class already with this, so I hope this hasn't moved on me. Isn't that gorgeous? It is just like perfection every time. All right, let me just scoot this out of the way and grab the rest of our things. So here's our base. And we're also going to use some vellum because vellum is going away in the new catalog, or at least plain vellum. And I'm really sad about that. So it's almost like I'm rebelling and using every bit of vellum that I can on every card. Don't worry, not every card tonight has vellum on it. So I did use an embossing folder, and of course it's a little hard to see. This was from Celebration, and I thought I would get a little more use out of that. For the flowers, I'm going to just color the leaves, and I'm going to tell you, like I told the class members, you can shade with our blends, but because of the great shading on here, you do not even need to shade. It's basically already done for you. So I'm going to just put my money where my mouth is and show you that I don't need to do that. See if I can do this without making a mess on camera. All right, quick and easy, huh? And we'll do these leaves as well. I'm only doing the leaves and that little, we're going to do that little seed pod there. I don't know if you've never done coloring on like live on camera, it's like totally weird because you just feel like you have no control. At least I do. I feel like I have no control over where my pen is going. Of course, I'm trying to hurry because I want to make this video watchable. It's like watching paint dry, right? Okay. Oh, no, one more. Missed one. Okay. Let me just zoom in a little bit here so that you can see. I know the color's not realistic, but I am using dark old olive on this. Dark, I believe. Or did I use light? I used light Mossy Meadow. I lied. So light Mossy Meadow on that. And it's another project that uses old olive. And this is Dark Lemon Lolly. And again, I'm just using one color and letting the shading on the stamp actually do the beautiful shade work there. Okay? That's how quick and easy. So we were going to pop this up, but it looks like, well, yeah, maybe I have some dimensionals, some pieces. We'll conserve so we have enough if we need for other projects. But so this is just a layered background. I'm layering this beautiful die cut, and this is the star of the show. Well, the stamps are so gorgeous as well. I don't know what to tell you. With this one, you definitely need the whole bundle. But I'm finding that some of you might enjoy parts of our bundles, not maybe not the stamps. So some of you buy stamps, some of you buy the dies, and that is perfectly okay. You buy what makes you happy and things that you will use. I'm gonna just I basically told everybody to do something that I'm not doing right now, and that is to layer this whole piece before you glue it down, because we need to put some ribbon under here. So give me a second. Let me go back to where I'm supposed to be and put some dimensionals on this piece only, just to get a little bit of lift. Since we're layering a lot of things, sometimes it's nice to have some of that be a different dimension rather than just piled on top of each other. Sorry, I'm using all these little pieces. Okay, so I'm going to stick that on here. Let me just see how I want that to be. Something like this. And then underneath it, we're going to tuck this piece, and I'm just going to put some glue on that. I have my green glue in this bottle with the fine tip that I found on Amazon, because I feel like a lot of people struggle with getting too much glue on their projects. All right, so next, I'm using this beautiful yellow ribbon. It comes in a pack of 3 with a pink, a blue, and this yellow. And I love it so much, and I just realized I used my last glue dot. Let's use the ones from Paper Pumpkin. That's going to be a little bit. I just sat here and used the very last one right before I went on live. Should have went and got some more. I'm trying to conserve it because I only had one roll that I bought special for this card. And I still ran out. I don't have quite enough, so I'm going to have to switch to another ribbon, but that's okay. We have beautiful ribbon. And what I want to do is just tuck this underneath here. So I'm going to just stick a glue dot on there. See if I can peel that. Well, the whole thing wanted to come off. Tuck that. And then let me just do these real quick. Instead of, if you look at the card, you can see how it's going across like this. Well, I'm trying to save, because like I said, I only had one roll for the whole class. So I'm trying to get enough for everybody. And that makes it a little bit hard. So I'm faking that, okay? Do you see what I mean? Like, I'm going to do one on the other side so that it looks like I did that the whole way across, but I didn't use quite that much ribbon, okay? Sorry, I should have had that done ahead of time. But I also like to show you these little tricks that if you're like me and you like to save money, you like to get a lot of bang for your buck, you can do these things as well. You know, especially if you're making, say, a lot of invitations for an event or something where you need to conserve supplies, you'll want to do that as well. I'm going to just put some glue here to put this last piece on here and hope that it will stay in place. All right, now I'm just going to throw some glue where it's not going to show through and get this baby glued on here. There we go. All right, that's going to take a minute because it's vellum, but I am going to I cut these 2 extra pieces from our dies just to see if there's somewhere like here where the leaf doesn't show as well. I might want to tuck in another leaf just to look a little more finished. You see how that just makes it look a little more finished. And then we have this one, and maybe we could tuck it up here. That looks good wherever you decide, or maybe you don't need it at all if you put it together perfectly and you don't need that extra piece, you can skip that. Okay, so basically that is it except for our saying, and I'm going to stamp that with our basic gray. This is cut with our Stylish Shapes dies, and then we're just going to pop that right on there. Actually, I'm just going to glue it because that area is already dimensionalized, so we don't need to really add dimension to that. And, oh, gems. I have our adhesive back sparkle gems, and I decided to grab the silver because there's silver edging on this ribbon. I don't know if you call them silver or clear. They could be either, but they have a really nice sparkle in them. So yeah, you can put 2 or 3 on there. Okay, so that's basically it. I'm finding that I would like to just pop up the end of this tag because it's not popped up here at the end. Well, it is not staying on tonight. Oh my goodness. Okay, try again. There we go. Now we're finished. All right, hope you enjoyed that one. Oh, before I start the next one, I promised you that I would show you some other samples. This is a card that I got in at Onstage in a swap, and it's so beautiful. So this one and the one that we just made are the ones that actually convinced me that I needed this set. So then I made a few other ones. This is one that I cased somewhat from one that I posted on here the other day from our artisan team, and I just loved how the colors went together. I'm really disappointed in at least how this is looking to me. Like, this white, it just doesn't show up really well, but hopefully you can see the pastel colors on my, maybe I have too much light on my lights up there, but here's one. This was leftover when I was making the cutouts for my Stamparatus, and this was just the throwaway piece, which I couldn't throw away because it was so pretty. I did it in Pebbled Path, I believe, or yeah, I think I did it in Pebbled Path or Gray Granite. I'm not sure, one or the other. So I had to design a card with that because it was just too pretty to throw away. And then this is another one that I cased from the artisan. But look how pretty that is without coloring that in. It is just so beautiful. I'm just amazed at the artistry of that stamp set. Okay, the next card is this one, and I decided to do this one because I just love this lantern and it's going away. And also, I last week I showed you, maybe 2 weeks ago, I showed you this new stamp called Drizzling Droplets. And let me just zoom back out here a second so that you can see a little better. Anyways, I decided that I had too many flower cards planned for this month, and so I decided to change to this. So we're going to highlight the Drizzling Droplets. We're going to highlight the Whisper White Craft ink pad. I'm going to tell you a couple things about that, and of course we're highlighting the Lighting the Way bundle, which is going away soon, and I'm very sad. Some of you are too, so you're going to grab it before it's gone. I didn't check today to see what's gone. I know some things have sold out already. It's too exhausting and emotional for me to look at it. So, all right, so I have this. It's already messy. We didn't clean it. But I want to tell you about the white pad. Of course, it comes uninked. And the best way to get a good, really good inking out of it is to actually put a little ink on it each time when you go to use it. Like if you haven't used it for a couple of weeks, put a little dab of ink on there and work it in, because then ensure that there is ink on top of the pad where you want to work. I'm just gently taking the tip of this and blending it in. You could use a credit card or something if you wanted to be more accurate with that. And then I'm just going to ink up my stamp, gently tapping. I don't need to push it all the way down into the grooves of the stamp. And then I'm going to lay my Misty Moonlight piece on top. And then I just have a piece of scrap paper to cover it so that I don't get the ink from the stamp all over my hand. It'd help if I put that on a flat surface instead of leaning up on something. All right, then voila. Ooh, that did get inky. That's because I had it up on here. I might just do the other side really quick because I need to have a decent sample. So give me a second. Let's do the other side. Hopefully I didn't get inky fingers on it. I put this paper on here so that I don't slide anything. And you notice I've always got a hand somewhere on it so that it's not moving for me. All right, there we go. That's much better. Let's get rid of that. Just want to close this pad so I don't make a mess with that. Now I do have white ink on my fingers. That's going to need to dry for a second. So let's get our card ready. And our lantern, what I did was I cut this out with our distressed gold paper, which is also going away. And there's that vellum again. I punched a piece of vellum. I will tell you a little trick is I punch 2 at a time because our vellum is very lightweight and our punches do not like that lightweightness, okay? So they will work better if you punch 2 at a time. So I'm going to just put a tiny bit of glue right just where I think it's going to touch, where I won't make a mess. I don't want it to show on my vellum or through my vellum. And then this will go right over here. Did I take that punch out? I can't remember which size this was, and I'm not sure that it's one that we have right now, but you might have it. You can try your punches and just see which one fits there. Okay, so get that, get that sticking on there. And then once it's sticking good, let me just pull a piece of scrap paper over here so I can press it down. Once it's sticking good, you can take and just trim off the edges. I am rushing things a little too much here tonight, so let's let that one sit while we get our ribbon on here. And I'm using our, it's a gold sort of cordish type ribbon, but it's narrow. This one is carrying over, which I'm very thrilled about. So you can see a little bit of like maybe some vanilla inside of there, and then the other side is just full gold. I do need to slide this on here, so hopefully it's glued enough. I just need to slide it on here. You don't have to, but it's nice if you don't have to like worry where that's going to go. This back side's a little bit wet, so hopefully my ribbon will stick. And while I'm here, let's just get the rest of the adhesive on to put this card together. And we can stick that on the card. Make sure I don't have any white ink anywhere. Okay, I'm just going to lay this over top. Press that down. Okay. Now, I do want one piece of dimensional that I'm going to use on here to just pop up the base, just to give it a little bit. I'm going to make it look like it's swinging in the air. And before I hook that down, you can, I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit of vellum that's sticking out over the edge of this lantern piece here. So I'm just going to angle that so that it doesn't look like my globe is like not fitting on my lantern. try to do that while you're live. Okay, so there's that. I did make a bow with this ribbon, and I have a little glue dot on there. I'm just going to pop that right in place right there. And I have this a little higher than my sample, so this is where you can get creative. Let me just do a little tab here. And, well, I'm going to have used up all my dimensionals before we get to the third card even. Can never have enough dimensionals, right? So I'm going to put this here at the bottom instead of the top because I have more space there. And last but not least, I'm adding some of our dragonflies, which in this case, they're going to be, you know, it's a lantern, it's at night, so they're going to be little lightning bugs. Okay, so just like that, all done. Okay, let's see where the next one is. Okay, for our next card, I just realized that I think my camera needs a little adjusting here. Sorry about that. Our next card is going to be with our new Latte Love stamp set and bundle. And I'm borrowing this from Barbara, excuse me. And so it has dies with it. It has designer paper that goes with it. It is just such a cute set. And so I'm excited to be able to use this to show you. I do have it set up again on my Stamp-A-Round-Us. Excuse the messiness. Tried to clean around that and it just is a little difficult. I could probably run it underwater. So we're going to put I actually made a slot here to put our greeting tag so that we could stamp all of it at the same time. It all is getting stamped in Early Espresso. Just a fitting ink to go with this set, right? All right. Oh, hold on one second. Maybe I should put my pieces in here so that we can stamp them at one time. Getting ahead of myself. Goodness. All right. There, let's try that again. Okay. Stamp says healing, peace, and rest. Sort of goes nice with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, right? That comes from another stamp set. These two stamp sets that I've used so far are online exclusives, which means you won't find them in a publication anywhere, okay? So you need to look for them, and I'm missing a stamp here. I need this little inside guy. And I thought I threw a block in here for that, but I'm not seeing it. So let me just grab another one. This is just to fill your cup here. So let me see if I can do this. There we go. All right, I will get a block for that. Okay, so anyways, online exclusives. So you have to check online. It's not, you won't find it anywhere else. But yes, this is a saying that, or a saying set, and I didn't bring that in here, but it has lots of things like cancer sucks, different things about hope this is a feeling better kind of day, that type of thing. So anyways, all right, so let's put this together. So I used the deckled edge to cut the piece of pecan pie and this piece of white, and I embossed this with the splatter embossing folder. I think, if I remember correctly, I think it was a 3-inch one. I cut these a few days ago, so now I can't remember. All right. So we're just going to layer those, get a nice border here. We're also using, the background is Lost Lagoon, as well as the mug of coffee. I have no idea why I'm using green glue, but it was here, so I'm using it. All right, now I did find a couple little pieces of dimensional here, so we are going to pop up this cup. going to save one little one in case I may need it for something else. All right, we'll pop him on there. Isn't that cute? And then our spoon, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. It's just going to sit right here on our mug. And I have just some of our Neutrals Baker's Twine, and it's in the crumb cake color, I believe. And I just doubled that up. And let's see that. Okay, good. All right, and then I am missing a piece of designer paper to go here. So I must have forgot to grab that. Let me just make sure it didn't fall in here. Okay, I forgot to grab that, but I think that we can just tuck this on here for now, and you can see basically how it looks. I did change. I'm using a different piece of designer paper. This one is brown with spots of like splattered coffee on it. The one that I intended to use here has a pinker hue to it, but it has some browns through it, and it's really pretty too. So, but it could be okay like that. Now, I couldn't find my these gems, which I did later find, but I had pulled out these Retiring Neutrals adhesive back dots, and I thought, well, the brown might look really nice with this, and what other opportunity might I have to use those? So I put those on there, and I think that goes really nice with that. So anyway, so you can use these. These are the swirl dots, which actually come with the suite of products called Latte Love or something like that. Something about lattes. Okay. So anyways, quick and easy, right? All finished with that one. I do have a couple other samples that Barbara made, or I got in swaps. So I will just flip through those really quick. This is just a die cut here that they're so cute. She did them in 2 different colors, lights and then darker ones. Here's the paper that I used for that tag that I forgot to bring in here, but isn't that pretty? I love the glimmer paper that she used here. I don't know if you can see that with my plastic on there. There's a real simple one with just the designer paper and a little bit of stamping. Another one, this is die cutting some of the papers. Same here. There's the splatted paper. There's another one. And here's one with the die cuts. She used vellum as her coffee mug. And that's it. All right, let's get to the final project for tonight. Okay, our 4th and final project is this card, which I just lost. This is using a new online exclusive again, called the Xenia, Simply Xenia. And it has an embossing folder with it. It has dies and stamps that are just so really nice and refreshing. It's something like we haven't had a Xenia in quite a while. So I lost all my pieces here. We're going to start by, let me put this over here a second. I'm going to stamp the greeting on the bottom of my white cardstock here. And we'll go ahead and stamp our flowers. This takes a couple of steps, so I want to get this done so it dries a little bit. Words fail to express my gratitude. I think that's such a pretty stamp. And let me put this aside. And then I'm going to use the Stamparatus, where I have it set up like this. And we'll stamp our 2 pieces that I have die cut with basic gray. Okay, so we'll ink those up. You know, it's tempting to stamp everything in black when you're coloring with blends, but try using different colors. As you can see, I've done several different today. All right, look at that. Look how gorgeous that comes out. So pretty. All right, we can put that aside. If I can grab the right thing here. Need to keep that in there. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do while those dry for a second, I'm going to use 2 pieces of our designer paper, and you can choose which side you like best. And I'm going to put that on with some green glue, staying away from the edge because we are going to be running this through the embossing folder, and I certainly don't want it squishing out and getting on my embossing folder. So I'm going to be very careful. But I do think I want the flowered side. I think that's pretty. All right, and then this one's just going to touch this one, but it's going to come to the other side. I got a similar swap and at On Stage, and that the swaps that I got again sold me on buying the stamp. And so I'm sure you've said it, I don't need another flower stamp. We've all said it, but in this case I definitely needed one. Okay, let's let that dry for a second and color these. Bring my scrap paper back in here just so that so what I started with on this was Blackberry Bliss, because my background, my cardstock is Blackberry Bliss. So I'm going to try to do this very quickly. I'm going to do the light, dark, light technique, which Diana Collum showed us in a pop-up class that we had at Retreat. We try to throw in some pop-up classes that are either free or a really tiny donation to learn new techniques. And this is the technique that I typically like to do when I am using blends, and I just do a small area. I will come in with my darker one and just put the dark color either where I see the shading or where I know that the light is not hitting the item that I'm coloring. So we'll put that there like that. Come back and do some more coloring. And I'm actually, in this case, I'm not going back over it with the light because I'm going to actually go back over it with a different color in a second. Because what happened when I got to the end of this is I was like, that's more purple than I really want it to be, because I used this designer paper, which is like Melon Mambo, and I'm like, I really wanted it to be more pink. And actually, I think I used a different pen here, and it was very, very light. I think it was just maybe running out of ink. So I could possibly just use these 2 colors and be perfectly happy with them. It's very pretty compared to how the other one was. But you see how I just touched that and it just blends with the color that's already there. I need to put a little bit of color inside here. Again, I probably should zoom you in just a tad so that you can see a little more closely what I'm doing. This pen, the tip of this pen is getting bad already with just having one class. So I'm hoping that my pens will hold up. The cost of my classes is going to be going up next month because the cost of our supplies is going up, and so you can see like things like this that I need to constantly be replacing, gas mileage, things like that we have to, all other companies do that. They pass on prices going up to their customers in the price of their products, or in this case my product is my class. So I try to keep it as low as I possibly can without actually losing money to do what I do. So anyways, but I'm just going to finish this one. I definitely try to always give you lots and lots of ideas and make the projects very worth the little extra money that you might have to pay, or the larger order that you might have to give, which we typically, if we buy a bundle of something, it's usually 40, 50 bucks anyways, right? Okay, I'm actually going to leave that way. I will show you on this one, like I said, when I colored with this lighter one, it's just a little bit lighter than that. It was a little pale. So I came back with light Melon Mambo and colored over the leaves. But I'm going to leave this one because I think that it's gonna look great with the background color. Let's do the leaves really quick, and then we will do the next technique that I'm going to show you. We're going to do some partial embossing. In this case, I probably wouldn't need, you see all that shading that's in there, but we're going to make it look a little bit even richer and do the light, dark, light technique here. Adding dark to the center vein there, and then just bringing that color out a little bit, okay? There we go. Just blend that out just a little bit with the lighter one. Okay, so that's all done. We are finished with this ink. I'm going to close that so I don't make a mess. I need to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit because it's going to get in the way. And I'm using plate number 4. There's a 4. It's the gray plate. And it goes with our 3D embossing folders. Now, I use the cane folder on this one, if you can see that. But I just got the Xenia folder. So I'm going to use that on this and see if we like it. So I'm doing it on this whole piece, or not the whole piece, but over the designer paper that we did there. So I'm going to just put it right to the edge of that designer paper. And then I think my paper did not get on there very straight. And then we're going to run it through, fold first. So that goes on plate number 1. So there's no other plates here. If it looks nice, it's because I just got a brand new one, because I use it very heavily in prepping for classes. And my other one felt like it was getting to the point where it might not hold up, and I was really worried about that. So, ooh, that's pretty. See if I can give you a glimpse here how pretty that is. Okay, so let me just put this aside a second, and I want to show you something you can do. You could leave it as is, or you could take some sandpaper and just lightly go over the design and create a little bit more white on it. I want to really bring out the pattern in this, so I'm doing that just a little heavy. The sanding block is something we used to sell. You can just use regular sandpaper. Okay, so now I can see the pattern in this as well, my embossing folder. I just realized that this has some stems on it, but I'm hoping that when you get the card, whoever gets this card doesn't notice that there might be a stem in there that should be going the other direction. Okay, so this is our Blackberry Bliss paper, and we are going to get this stuck down on the card. Okay. And with all embossing, I like to cover the whole edge because I don't like that to stick up. And then we're ready to put our flowers on, and I used all of my dimensionals, so I'm just gonna tack. Oh, I forgot to do the flowers, the little stamens in the center. I did that in yellow, and I'm just gonna go do this whole center yellow. This is Dark Daffodil Delight. Summer Sun. Ooh, that's a blast from the past. Anybody remember that color? Hasn't been around in quite a while. I'm not being real careful. I don't care if it gets... Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to do a tad glue, and then I can pop a dimensional on there later if I want to. I don't know. I'm thinking that I might come back here and do this in pink. Ooh, I just went over that star in the center. I didn't want to do that. I don't know. I just think that because of it, this designer paper is somewhat pink, that it's going to be nicer if this has a pink hue to it. What do you think? It's just that dark Blackberry Bliss is so stark against the light, and I guess maybe if I had blended it in, it would have been okay. But I'm gonna just do this real quick. Sorry. Artists, what do you call it? Like I don't need permission to do that, right? Prerogative. All right, almost done. Promise. So which was your favorite tonight? Tell me in the comments. I have a bunch of retiring product that's still brand new to give away. So I'm going to be doing some drawings in the next couple of weeks. And so tonight, I don't even know, it's going to probably be some ribbon or gems or something. So make sure you comment, share this. And be sure to, if you're watching this on YouTube later, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss when I post upcoming videos. And I just tucked that one under there. Turn this. I did not want to color that little tiny stamen, whatever flower that is, pink, but it really is standing out. Maybe I should make it dark so that it doesn't stand out like a pink thumb. There we go. Okay. The gems that I used on this are purple gems. What are they called? Purple fine shimmer gems or something. Let me just throw some of those on here. And I don't want the grape ones. I want these ones that look more like, remember our old Rich Razzleberry? They just are so pretty with this. Put two in there. There we go. All right, all finished. That is it, guys. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know that you were here. If you would like in the drawing, it's especially important, but it's very helpful for me to see that you're here. And if there are any questions, I will get back and try to answer them later, so that you don't have to wait for that. But yes, sometimes the comments don't come up here right away, so it'll take a few minutes. But all right, thanks for joining me tonight. Take care. God bless.